So in our second video, I'm going to give you some information about reading music on the staff, on the page, on the 5 lines and spaces. Okay, the 5 lines and spaces are called a staff. There are a few things that we'll talk about. There are 2 clefs. Okay, this one here is the treble clef, which is usually played by the right hand, and this is the bass clef, which is the left hand. The treble clef is usually from middle C up, that's the treble part of the piano, and then the bass is from middle C down. That's the lower part of the piano. You can write on ledger lines. Ledger lines are the lines that are drawn underneath the staff. You can draw below middle C, and you can draw above middle C, and you can draw above the A on the top ledger line here, and you can draw lines underneath the E and draw down notes too. But we'll just basically just talk about these notes today. So you can see that there are 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the treble clef staff and in the bass clef staff. They're both the same, and there's 4 spaces in between, 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, middle C, which is the C that's in the middle of the piano here, the C is always to the left of the 2 black keys. You'll have to locate which is middle C on your keyboard. Middle C is drawn on a line underneath the staff. The next note is D, which is in the space above C, and then the bottom line, the first line of the treble clef staff is E, the first space is F, the second line is G, the second space is A, the third line is B, the third space is C, the fourth line is D, the fourth space is E, and the fifth line, the top line is F, and then the space above that is G, and the line drawn on the ledger line above that is A. So that goes from middle C here, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, to that A here. Those are the notes that are written here on the staff. Middle C in the bass clef is also on the line above the staff. Here's the point. And then the note below that, of course, is B and A. And then we start on G, is the 4th space, F is the 4th line, E is the 3rd space, D is the 3rd line, C is the 2nd space, B is the 2nd line, A is the 1st space, and G is the bottom line, the 1st line, and then F is the note below that, and E is on the ledger line below that. So that's starting on middle C here, going down to B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, to that E here. Those are the notes that are written there. Okay, at the beginning of every piece are 2 things. The key signature, which tells you which key you're in, and the key, if it's a major key, again, is formed on the scale pattern of a whole step, a whole step, a half step, a whole step, a whole step, a whole step, and a half step. And you can start on any key, black or white key, following that pattern to get the major scale. So in this case, we have 5 sharps. So we are either in the key of F sharp major, which would be F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, and F sharp. Or in the case of the song that we're demonstrating, which is called Love War by Dong Zhen. Okay, that's the song that that I'll be demonstrating the right-hand part for you in a few minutes. Okay, we're in the key of D sharp minor, which is a minor third below F sharp. So we go down a half step and down a whole step to get the relative minor key. So we have D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, and D sharp. Okay, in this case we're in the natural minor scale, so we follow exactly the same notes as in the key of F sharp major. Okay, the harmonic minor, you would have D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. You would have C double sharp and D sharp. Okay, but remember we're in the natural minor scale, so we have exactly the same keys. All right, the second thing is called the time signature, which is two numbers on top of each other. Okay, in this case we're in 4/4 time. So the top 4 tells you how many beats are in the measure, and the bottom number tells you what kind of note gets one beat. So the 4 means a quarter note. Okay, so a quarter note gets one beat. It can be different combinations of numbers, 2/4, 3/4, it can be 5/4 or 6/4, it can be 3/8, 5/8, it can be 3/16. Okay, so the bottom note, if it was an 8, would mean an 8th note gets one beat. If it's 16, the 16th note would get one beat. If it's 2, a half note would get one beat. So let's just talk a minute about the different kinds of notes that are in this piece. Okay, the first note is a quarter note. A quarter note is a blacked in note with a stem. Okay, and that gets one beat. A half note is twice as long as a quarter note, so that gets 2 beats. So it takes 2 quarter notes to make one half note. Okay, a dotted half note. Okay, for a dotted half note, we have a half note that has a dot after it. So the dot means you add half the value of the note. So a half note is worth 2 beats, and you divide it in half and get 1. So you add 1 beat to it, so it gets 3 beats altogether. And then a whole note, which is just an oval like this with no stem, gets 4 beats. And then we also have an 8th note. Okay, an 8th note is half of a quarter note, so an 8th note gets half a beat. So it takes 2 8th notes to make up 1 quarter note, or 4 8th notes to make up a half note, or 8 8th notes to make up a whole note. Okay, so so as you can see, okay, these are 8th notes that have a flag that's tied to each other. So you have 2 8th notes, a quarter note, 2 8th notes, and a quarter note, 2 8th notes, and then 4 8th notes. Okay, so we are actually starting on the 4th beat of the measure. So this is we're going to count 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so this is a dotted quarter note. So it gets 1 beat plus half a beat. So it's 3 and 4, and then this is and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then it repeats basically the same rhythm again. Okay, so I know it will be a while before you're able to read the notes on the staff. So I wrote in the fingering, and so the first time, let me just demonstrate the melody with saying the fingering as I play. Okay, so we are starting on an A sharp and a C sharp, going to a G sharp. Okay, so we'll go over the notes later. So let me see if I can demonstrate here while you can see the notes on the keyboard. Okay, so it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and I'll say the numbers. 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. And then the second section, we go down to a G sharp, 1 and 2. So I'm sorry, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. And then we'll go repeat the first section again. 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. And the last note gets 4 beats. Okay, so I want to play it one more time, and this time I'm going to say the notes while I play it instead of the finger numbers. But I want to make sure that you learn the correct fingering and use the correct fingers, which you can see from the photograph. Okay? A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, D sharp, A sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, G sharp, D sharp, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, D sharp, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, D sharp, E sharp, A sharp, G sharp, E sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, D sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E sharp, A sharp, D sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, D sharp, A sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp. So work on the right hand saying your finger numbers and work on the right hand saying the notes, and then the next time I'll demonstrate the left hand.